So really our first day of minicamp, and you guys have seen enough of this. It's very similar to what we're doing in the OTAs. If you ask me what the difference is, there's a little bit longer meeting time, a little bit longer post-practice meeting time, and we're allowed to be on the field a little bit longer. Today was a lot of red zone work. I liked our energy. Got a little warm, but I thought the guys handled it really well. Any questions?
Sean, did you guys sign J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to answer any reports. I think we're close. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Coach, with Riley, obviously you saw him take a massive jump last year. What have you seen him just coming into
Riley?
Loss.
Yeah. Well, look, when you're opposite of Patrick, you're getting a lot of traffic, and he rose to the occasion. He's someone who's extremely smart. So studying splits, all the things that allow you to have a chance to be a pretty good corner. And I say this, if you're covering everything, you're not covering anything. Tight split, -2, +2, runway, in eliminating routes that can't be run. But he's having a good off season.
With the ball in year two, and maybe just quarterbacks in general when they're in the offense for a second year, how much comfortable do you see them on third?
Well, I don't want to compare him to the others because he's different, and I see him much further along right now with what we're doing, taking a play into the huddle real quick, and I see him making good decisions. I can't tell you about the others.
Red zone in particular, though, how's he made strides there?
Well, today was our first red zone day.
Sean,
Maybe since the start of last year.
Yeah. He was outstanding. And the significance of the running game across the 15, you can't understate. And so all of that, we look at in the off season, self-scout. What do we want to add? What do we want to remove? What can we do better? And so I think his performance in that area will improve as we do as a unit.
Sean, how much is Evan Ingram evolving into the Joker role that you have likely envisioned?
He's doing well. He's smart. He's really works at it. I would say the one thing that's hard to grade on film are how good someone's football instincts are, and I think he's showing us each day that he's got a real good savvy for the game.
Just a general question on J.K. Dobbins. I mean, how do you evaluate his career? It seems like every time he's kind of got going, he's had injury issues. How do you kind of evaluate how his career is progressing?
Just like we evaluate everyone else's.
With Melee, any concern there in terms of absence?
No, all good. Look, we've had great attendance. We're very much aware each day if someone's got an event or doing something. All good.
You had said last year when you got Roach, you knew what you had, but maybe even more because of the play, the person.
Yeah, I don't recall when I was in New Orleans that leadership. He was a younger player there, and so the leadership. One of his great traits is he doesn't have bad days. And if you guys have spent time interviewing him, he's upbeat. He comes out here with energy, and I think that's contagious to his position group.
Did he make those other guys better when you watched them?
I think, he was a part of it. He was a part of it. And, we're glad he's with us.
Sean, obviously, Nick Benito heading into a contract here. Obviously,
Say it again.
Nick Benito heading into a contract here. Huge year.
We have a number of guys, yeah.
What are you looking for from him? What level is there for him to continue to do?
Listen, he's playing at a high level. We have to be careful of his snap count. If you went back and did any homework and you saw, man, he's at a pitch count that's borderline too high. And we got to be smart about that.
Coach, how
Q
important
Robbins?
is Brandon?
Go ahead.
How important is Brandon Jones to the back half of that secondary playmaker, leadership as well?
Communicator, very important, and an important guy for us a year ago when we signed him. A veteran presence and someone who's smart.
Coach, now that the offseason program's nearly wrapped up, how's the rookie class integrated themselves?
They're doing well. They're doing really well. And I don't want to go through every position, but the last rookie I saw today was the punter.
As a head coach, I know you're more of an offensive guy, but looking at the defense, as a head coach, could this be maybe the best defense?
We'll see. We'll see. We're sitting here in June and talking about the best, and we have a chance to be a real good defense, and time will tell. Lucky enough, I've been a part of some really good defenses, but we just got to keep improving, and really, all of this is in preparation for training camp.
How much does it help defensively when you've got some young edges like D'Andrea and even Q flashing out there that can help maybe keep Nick and Jonathan fresh?
Well, look, we're in a young developmental league, and so to have young guys that we have a vision for is extremely important, because it's hard for guys to stay healthy, with a long season. So your depth, you're creating all of that.
With when you have a bunch of tryout guys out here this time of year, how do you sort of do you intentionally try to get them reps, or how much are you trying to see?
We're evaluating everything, and we'll watch the tape, and they have a helmet and a jersey on. We're looking closely. Can they help us? What's the vision? What could they do? Because history has told me, personally, I've found guys in this camp that weren't on the 90, that later became on the 90 and then played the following year. So we have to evaluate them all.
Coach, where do you see Caleb Loader in the developmental timeline of becoming football?
He's coming around. He's doing well. There's some things that are new to him, and then there's some things that, that he gravitates to that I think he's further along with. But he's doing well.
When you have a basketball player, do you put him in touch with someone like Jimmy Graham, or have him look at Graham and get?
Look at all his cut-ups and all that I have. Yeah, absolutely.
Brandon Jones was good last year, but now he's got a full season under his belt. How much even more comfortable is he now as he enters his second season?
Yeah, I think it's a good question for him. I think Fonga next to him, the communication on that back end, those guys on the same page playing together. I know they both have high standards.
When you talked a little about Audric, for the other guys in the room, Jaleel, today.
Don't start counting.
Just in general.
No, don't start counting. I've heard you guys counting, and it's like, don't count, because half you'll be wrong. Let's just see what they do.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking forward to see how they play, and they're going to get opportunities. I said it earlier, much earlier. I said, look, Audric's going to get opportunities. All right, we've seen Jaleel, but don't try to figure out the club right now. It's way too early. You can go ahead and try, but
when you came here, it was never to just turn it around. It's to win championships.
That's exactly right.
How do you think this team is receiving that message after last year's success?
I think pretty good. I think they have a high standard of how they see themselves and where we can be.
So good self-awareness with this group that
I think so. I think so. Now a little bit of confidence always helps, and you get going, you win some games. Any team really that's been worth their salt has always put a string of wins together. We need to start faster. The last 2 years we haven't, but I like where we're at right now. One more question. My voice is getting hoarse.
With John Day Barron, when he has the opportunity to learn from, be around a Pat Surtain, how can that kind of accelerate his progress?
Well, I look, when you're around a talented player like that, and someone who's as good a person as Pat is, it's great for the room. And then look, he's got others around him that are exceptionally smart, and he too, I said this last week, one of his gifts is his football IQ and his flexibility, inside or outside. And so I think that's another strong piece to a group that's hard to find. It's hard to find corners. And those are premium positions. Thank you.